so good, I feel so numb.
And now, from the Cave of Wonders and recorded live in the presence of gods, welcome to the Rain Man Show.
All right, hello, everybody. Hello. Thomas, Callie, how are you today?
I am good, Mike. How are you?
I am very well. I was about to throw a fit, but then the computer system quickly recovered.
That would have been good. A good opening to the Rain Man Show. You throwing a fit first thing.
Yeah. Well, believe me, there are going to be some fits thrown today.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I'm just setting the tone for the show. Setting the tone.
We had a big one last week with your whole Dark Tower bit. I don't want you to go off on that again. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm trying to keep myself contained these days, trying not to get too angry and upset, trying to keep the shows fun, not just for the listeners, but also for
your blood pressure,
my well-being, my mental health. I'm getting up there in the years, and I need to take care of myself.
You think you're that old?
I'm getting up there, man, especially after last week's show when we were talking about emojis and how you basically need an entire translation book, a book that translates the emojis so that someone of my age can actually understand what someone's saying.
That is funny right there, because you said a book to translate emojis. Like, you'd have pen and paper kind of book, not an app or something on the computer. You'd actually have a book.
Yeah, I would.
That needs volumes and editions because it comes out every other year.
I would write it down with a pencil or what's those old pens called?
Fountain pen?
Yeah, or a fountain pen.
Quill?
And I would wait for someone to translate it over for me, and then I would write it down, and I'd hear them say, hello, stop.
You got a telegram, too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. I am getting up there. Like, I feel good, and I feel like I look fine in terms of my age, but in terms of technology, I'm still up on it. Like, our entire business is technology.
Requires it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm fine with that. I'm not one of those imbeciles that can't check my email.
Right. But you're saying, like, the kids element,
yeah,
you're starting to lose
There's certain things, and it's funny because I spend so much time. I make it a habit to listen to the top 100, at least the top 50. I usually only get to 20 for the for the music, but I try to stay up on what's going on in terms of music, and for the most part, I can appreciate the pop music. It's garbage, but I enjoy it for what it is, but I try to stay up to date on all of that. Everything that is going on in terms of the younger demo. I think someone like me who runs a network where our target demo is 16 to 34, that's a big gap there.
Yeah.
A lot of age ranges that we need to connect with and relate to. And the only way we're going to do that and maintain where we're at is by kind of staying up with current events. And I'm not just talking about politics, but of course, technology. And emojis is one of them. And I started playing a game because I told myself that my whole life isn't going to be work anymore.
Okay.
I'm going to throw in video games. So what I started doing is giving myself 20 to 40 minutes a day before I go to bed to play some games.
Okay. How's that been working?
Pretty fun. I feel more relaxed. And I started playing an online mobile game.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a Final Fantasy 15 version of a mobile game I play. It's called New Empire. And I'm trying to communicate with people because it's a MMO of sorts. You have to play with people. So I have to communicate. And the entire thing is based on chat rooms. So,
and you feel out of touch,
yeah, because the guild leader is telling me to attack, a guild, another foreign empire across the way. And he's telling me in emojis and acronyms.
Like AFK.
And he says, I need you to launch this attack in 5 minutes. And he'll say a bunch of other things that I have to actually Google the emoji and the acronyms to understand our plan of strategy.
You don't have an example at all, do you?
No. I'll do some screenshots, though. I'll do some screenshots for the next show. Because I feel like a fool, and I don't want to say, hey, can you slow down? Can you speak? And I'm going through, and there's about 100 of us in this particular guild. And I'm the only one using proper grammar and complete sentences.
Yeah, you got to cut that shit out, man. You don't have time for that.
I guarantee you, because someone asked me how old I was.
You're like, oh, God, they're on to me. They can smell it. They can smell the Ben Gay.
Here, Andrew and Tony are in studio today, but I had their mics off. I mean, Tony, you're an older individual. You're the oldest one in the studio. Do you find yourself getting confused with emojis? I know you talked about this briefly last show, but are you as confused as I am?
I can understand the basic ones, but
it's kind of like understanding Spanish, but not really knowing how to speak it.
That's what it is. It's hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
For hieroglyphics for the millennium.
So basically you're saying the equivalent of hola and si. That's pretty much what you
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Donde está el baño?
It really does a number on my self-esteem.
You didn't answer the kid, did you? How old you were?
I said I was 26.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't want to be labeled as an old man playing games.
You get shut down, kicked out of your account for an age discrepancy.
I do. There are older people than me playing the game. I know for a fact they've said, but they know it. And I think it's because they're in the loop in terms they game. They're gamers, so they know. Does gaming keep you kind of young?
It keeps you more up to date with lingo, I'd say.
Okay.
Just in general, because like you said, the chat room, it's so fast and so quick that people have to use shorthand, the new age shorthand.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if I ever go back to the dating world, hopefully me and Maggie will stay together for many moons. And even if I hate her, I'm going to stay. I'm going to die in this relationship. Because if I go back into the dating world, I think I might be doomed at this point. And I was talking to somebody else.
You've passed the event horizon as far as age?
I would say so. And I was talking to someone that will remain nameless for the time being, but someone that's affiliated with you.
Okay.
And we were talking about a certain hygiene. And how some of her biggest clients are people who are coming out of relationships and they're completely lost because they've been in relationships for 10, 15, 20 years and they have no idea
how to do it again.
Exactly. And not just the dating aspect, the talking. Talking will never be a problem with me. I'll always be able to communicate. So that's not my problem. I will always win over a chick because I'm a salesman. I will sell myself.
I will sell this Japanese penis to somebody.
Hey, it's worked. It's worked. I've had some pretty hot chicks in my time.
But you're saying that threshold of even getting to a real life conversation now is emojis.
I'm just going to show up. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show up to their house and sell myself immediately. Think of me as the Hoover vacuum guy from the 50s and the 60s that just shows up at your door and sells you. That's going to have to be me. If I ever have to go to another relationship, I'm just going to force myself and say, hey, look, I'm here right now. Who are you? Just let me talk for a minute.
I just going to give you a warning.
I guarantee you, I will win you over.
I don't think you're going to have a lot of success showing up to people's houses these days.
Oh, really?
In real life.
Is that also
just a warning?
Oh, all right. Well, maybe I'm fucked. So we are going to have some serious moments of the show as well, Thomas.
Yeah, we have to, right?
There has been some. I don't know how else can I say this. There's been a lot of problems going on in the world, a lot of serious issues, and we've kind of avoided a lot of them. I would say since the beginning of
the year.
Since 2017, we have completely tried to stay away from anything controversial for a lot of reasons. Number one, I was burnt out. Yeah. I think many of us were burnt out.
I still am. Dude.
And I know our listeners, a lot of our listeners are very in sync or in tune, and they're fans of entertainers and celebrities, and they follow a lot of these individuals on social media. And they've even said they're burnt out seeing their favorite star talking about this and talking about that. It's no longer about the reason why they followed them. So I took that
book or what have you.
Right. And because I always listen to my listeners for the most part, because I have to know what they are entertained by, I've tried to stay away from some of that.
Right.
I do some jokes here and there. However, I think this show, we're going to have some moments where I bring it back to 2016 and we start getting a little more serious because there are some issues that I would like to address personally in terms of what's going on in this country.
Okay.
And the antics of certain media outlets that like to oversell and sensationalize headlines because that's how you get ratings. So we're going to get into that. We're going to knock it out right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we're going to get into it right now. But then on the other side, there's rainbows. Because when we're done talking about it, we're going to bring Maggie into the show and we're going to talk about whiskey. And she's going to give us all
We're
some
going to need
whiskey.
it after the real life talk.
See how I have that planned?
Yeah, that works.
After we get serious, we're going to then relax with whiskey. And I welcome the listeners as well. Get a line of Coke.
Whoa, that's a little harder than whiskey.
Recreational drug.
Let's do it.
I'm not asking people to do smack.
Tony's like, I got some right here.
So after we get through this topic, we will have some recreational drugs and drinking, and then we'll have a good time for the rest of the show because I'm also going to be doing a game for you, Thomas.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to make you look like a fool tonight. I'm hoping.
Oh, good. That's always fun.
After all the ladies was so excited about your penis being pierced, I got to bring you down a bit. I got to show them that you are also a little dumb.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I have to rise to the challenge. Get it?
Yeah. So we're going to do a Does Thomas Know Game of Thrones edition.
Okay.
Game of Thrones versus Real World edition. So we're going to see if you know anything about the real life compared to Game of Thrones.
Is it modern day or?
It's history, it's modern,
Okay.
it's everything mixed in. It's things that you probably should know if you know who is the leader of Westeros. Okay? Don't answer that now. And I want listeners to call in. They can either go on Google. Actually, you know what? We're going to have them call in if they want to. And I can take whoever's the first person to call when I say call. You can just sit in during the game. And I'm going to ask you if you think Thomas will know this. And if you do know, if you end up being correct that Thomas did know the answer, then that's a point for you. If you say he didn't know and he didn't know, that's a point for you. And then we're going to
get it right.
Correct.
Essentially.
And then, no, they don't need to know the answer.
No, they're right about me being right or wrong.
Right. And then they will win a free Rain Man digital t-shirt. I'll give them something of their choice. I'll let them pick one from our library we have now on TeePublic.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll be doing that as well. So we're going to have some fun as well. But first, we need to get through some serious things. I feel like I'm obligated. I feel to say a few words. All right. So I ask that you guys shut up or I will silence your constitutional right. Thomas.
This isn't a democracy.
No.
I'm well aware of that.
Not in the Rain Man Digital Studio. The Cave of Wonders, you lose that right as soon as you walk through the archway. You know how, like, in the certain Catholic churches in New York, when you watch through the arch, when you walk through the arch, you are forgiven your sins? Well, in my archway, when you walk through, you lose your right to speak. Or at least have an opinion if I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why Andrew's silent right now.
Yep.
All right, so tons of things going on in the world, as I was saying. This is going to be a positive view to calm the waters because I feel like there's been a lot of stirring shit up from both sides, people getting aggravated and spelling doom and gloom. And this isn't the end. Okay, there are racist people in this country. Is this country racist? Absolutely not. There are racists and prejudice that's very prevalent. But it does not define this country anymore. And I don't think it has for decades. The news has a horrible habit of over-sensationalizing everything. And that happens when you put a dollar amount on viewership.
Yep.
Once you monetize your opinion in the aspect of news, where you should be spouting truth, justice, and the American way. But once you put that dollar amount on news, it becomes an entirely different thing. It becomes a ratings grab. Otherwise, you lose your job. I'm not saying there aren't anchors out there who believe in those things, but the person pulling the strings and dictating what they're going to talk about is not the news anchor. It isn't your favorite journalist. They're being told.
Yeah. They have a boss like anyone else.
Exactly. The news grasps for ratings. This was, and has always been my problem with mainstream news. They can care less about giving an accurate image of an event, and they're more about sensationalizing. It's the news, sexy headlines that catch people's attention. It was something that started to happen way back in the day by way of war, specifically in the 30s and 40s, during the whole propagandic ideology that was sold through newspapers and the newsreels playing at the cinema, cartoons, pretty much every form of media was a way to get in the heads of the American people and sell those war bonds.
Always
buy those war bonds. Let's fight the Japs. Let's kill the Germans. The Ruskies are evil. The news has always been at the forefront of all of those things. Sexy, sensationalizing headlines that get people swept up so they keep watching and getting involved and buying newspapers. With the boom of advertising agencies and the commercialized craze of the 1950s, it just got worse because now you saw commercialization of news. You saw the 50s and the whole advertising, swanky advertising agencies with the cool guys and the cool suits, the whole Mad Men era.
Yeah, the jingles and all that stuff, trying to sell you everything.
That then got meshed with news. It became almost indistinguishable because news organizations gravitated to the antics that came from the 1950s. So it got worse because they started monetizing. They saw the money. Then you had politicians, people in positions of power who are now getting involved in news because they saw the power. The real power is with the media. It's not in the White House. The real power is always outside of that White House. I mean, if you want to point to fiction that's based on fact, the finale of House of Cards, when Kevin Spacey says the real power is not in this house, is not in this room. It's out there in the secular field running a business, running a corporation.
It's true.
And that's the problem with our news organizations. And I'm going to circle back to the main topic and what's been going on in this country. It became harder and harder to distinguish between news and sensationalized headlines that were meant to sell, that are actually being written by people that are from ad agencies, are writing copy for the news. And this is happening today. This is the problem with fake news. And I hate that phrase right now because unfortunately it has become tremendously, to use a word from Trump, tarnished due to Trump using it as a way to martyr himself in the eyes of the public. And if you remember, Thomas, I specifically said this. I said the biggest problem with Trump being in the White House is not the wall. It's not his antics of pro-America and fuck everybody else. It is he's a distraction. And the fact that he has gravitated to this fake news, it's actually hurting. I felt like before Trump became president, the fake news thing was becoming a thing. People were finally waking up, realizing news is bad. News is not good. The media sucks. They're selling you headlines. It was finally happening at the midpoint of 2016, and now it has been pushed together and meshed with the whole Trump agenda against fake news, and that sucks. That's the worst thing Donald Trump. You want to point to the worst thing Donald Trump has done since he's been in that White House? It is that. It is the fact that he has now marred the phrase fake news. It was and is a real problem, but not because of what he says. He's using it, as I was saying, as I have a target on my back. It's all fake news. It's always about me. But it was a problem long before Trump.
And it'll be a problem long after.
He has now set back that phrase. The phrase that was finally making a difference. Fake news. Watch alternative news sources. Now we have been set back at least a decade because of that.
Well, because now people will associate fake news with, oh, you're just trying to say it's not real, just like with Trump or something like that. And that's not the case. And you're right. I'm afraid that 10 years from now, we'll still be dealing with this shit.
Now, this is circling back to what just happened this past weekend. And how the selling of how racist this country is. In order to sell, they need to over-sensationalize. Please know that. I think anybody who listens to this show is pretty damn smart. And if you're on the fence, you have to realize that you have to take what is being said as a grain of salt. The media coverage of Charlottesville is an unfair image of this country. And this is the image they're selling to millions of people tuning in. And not just in this country, but in countries where people should have better images of us. The average American does not think or act that way. And yet the news has blasted it everywhere, making it out to be this horrendous thing. And it's just not it. That Charlottesville protest has been way over glamorized via the media. The very media that's labeling it as naughty and bad.
Love it.
They're the ones selling it. They're selling this bad image of our country. This country is not that, and yet they give off the impression that thousands and thousands of Nazis and white supremacists were taking to the streets. According to an accurate news report, hundreds,
not 10,000,
of protesters descended upon Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday for a Unite the Right rally, a belated coming out party for an emboldened white nationalist movement in the United States. Hundreds. That's the key word. Not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, not millions. And yet this is what's blasted all over our news, being sold to every single country that's picking up the news feed, that the United States is a terrible, racist country, and that is not our image. We are not what we were 40 years ago. We are not what we were 100 years ago. And yet that is what's being sold. That is damaging to this country. A tweet that went out from Jack Smith said that police affidavit on tomorrow's Unite the Right. This was the day before attendees. This was the list of people making an appearance, okay? 150 alt-nights, 250 Ku Klux Klan, 500 3% Risen, 200 to 300 militia. Can you add that number up, somebody?
Got it.
It's under 1,000. Under 1,000. And we're blasting this to tens of millions of people.
Oh, yeah.
Labeling this country as a racist nation.
Because do you know what tens of millions of people seeing that means? Tens of millions of clicks.
Exactly.
Tens of thousands of clicks.
Exactly. Now, again, I want to compare this to something good. Again, this is not supposed to be cynical. This is supposed to be a positive and to take back the real image of the country and what we are. The 2017 Women's March was a worldwide protest, if we all remember that, on January 21st, 2017, to advocate legislation and policies regarding human rights and other issues, including women's rights, immigration reform, healthcare reform, reproductive rights, the natural environment, and LGBTQ rights, racial equality, and freedom of religion. That's what the 2017 Women's March was about.
And how many people?
The Washington March drew 440,000 to 500,000 people, and worldwide participation has been estimated at 5 million.
Bam.
Okay. Now, when you compare that, and again, I'm not saying all Nazis came to the protest, and not all good people marched for the women. And when you look at those numbers, let's go with an estimate.
Lowball it.
Okay. Let's say 1,000 people showed up. Okay. To the Nazi protest, which I think is a little bit higher, actually. Quite a bit. And let's round the 440 to 500 to an even 500,000. Okay. 1,000 is 0.002% of 500,000. So 0.02% of the American population
that actually showed up
is a Nazi. And we're selling it, that this is a nationwide problem. The Nazi movement is on the rise. Look out for those Russians, people. The Red Scare is back in the form of Nazis. Divide and conquer is what they want. Sell the idea to the people of this country, get them emotionally charged and upset, distract from the blatant theft of the IRS from its people, distract from the shit and chemicals they put in our foods, distract from the countless wars we initiate. And when I say we, the American government, the very people that want us to be swept up by way of the media.
Yep.
The Russian collusion story and the email bullshit of Hillary Clinton, distractions. We tip the balance of power in every part of this country, and yet we pretend to be upset in the alleged involvement of the Russian government. Give me a fucking break. Guess what? Hillary Clinton was going to lose anyways. She was the most hated person to ever run for president. The Democrats made a gross error putting her in the seat. It probably should have been Bernie Sanders. They probably would have won.
Probably, yeah.
Russia didn't cause that. Russia didn't cause that. Let's not be hypocrites. The United States government and the criminal organization known as the CIA is doing this every single day. How do you think the Arab Spring started, Thomas? The entire rebellion that started and created ISIS was created by our CIA.
Just like
that was trying to topple power and put democratic rulers in. And it
just
backfired.
Like Al-Qaeda.
It backfired miserably.
Al-Qaeda was the exact same thing 30 years ago.
And people that like movies, watch Sicario with Benicio del Toro. Talks about
Charlie Wilson's War.
Talks about the drug trade and how the CIA is directly involved because they want to control. It's the lesser of two evils. So we rather allow it to happen than not have control over it. So we're going to put the people we want in power so that we can at least kind of have our hand on it, the pulse, so we understand what's going on and we can maintain some semblance of power. These are the problems we should be focusing on. The problem of the government and the IRS and the bullshit that's happening every single day, not this racist country, because this country isn't racist. I'm not saying there aren't racist people. There are. I've witnessed it myself. I've been a victim of racism. It does, but it's not this horrible Nazi regime. The neo-Nazis and Nazis are back. It's not, and it will never rise again because this country is a land of immigrants. And we are such a melting pot that it could not happen. It will not happen. If you look at the demos, there'll be less white people in about 10 to 15 years. The neo-Nazis will not be on the rise. But the government and the news will sell it to you because it's sexy, it sells ratings, and the government can distract you from what they're doing. Convenient that this all happened right when North Korea is finally getting a handle on their weapons.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Those are the problems we should be focused on, not the racist nature of this country and a bunch of shadow ghost Nazis that don't exist.
There's ghosts and Nazis now?
Ghost Nazis, phantom Nazis.
Jesus Christ, they're back.
I mean, when I was watching this, I fell victim to it. I was watching like, holy shit, there's Nazis all over the street.
Someone call Indy.
And even the news were picking chosen shots. They were doing the punch-in shot, so it makes it look like it's crowded.
Oh, yeah.
But if they did a wide-angle shot, you would notice there's a bunch of yahoos walking around with tiki torches, and there was not this giant group.
No.
Sensationalizing news topics is what we should be afraid of. The media needs to be snipped. I'm not talking about silenced. Maybe
a little bit.
But they need to be held accountable.
Something needs
because
to happen.
They are a direct threat more than the neo-Nazis. And same thing with the way our government operates. Under 1,000 people. And that's what we're talking about for the last 3 or 4 days that people are crying about and are devastated. And the person who died, guess what, dummies? You killed your own. That dumb Nazi putz killed another Nazi.
That's just so stupid.
Nice plan. Real supreme race there, dummy.
This is going to really look bad on recruiting statements.
Now I'm going to run this bitch over. I swear to God, I saw her kissing a black guy. I swear to God, I'm going to run her over. Wait, are you sure, Tommy? I could have swore she was wearing a Nazi emblem just the other day.
Isn't that your ex? And that was the real reason.
Yeah. Let's calm down, news. Let's quit trying to create issues that aren't there and get people more upset and more emotional so that we have real problems and real protest and real hate. Why don't we keep doing this so that more cops can get shot? Because that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Let's keep selling this to people who don't research, and let's get them more angry so that they go out and shoot poor cops that are just doing their jobs.
But if we don't, Mike, who will watch all 24 hours?
Exactly. Exactly. How am I going to make how am I going to add extra zeros to my paycheck this week?
I only make 6 figures.
We should take money away from the news organizations.
Oh, yeah.
I'm serious. We need to find some new way to get them paid. Where they can't, I don't want to say cap them, but there's got to be a way to get rid
financial
of
influence.
This sensationalized stories. The headlines become like the Sun. Remember the Daily Sun and the Inquirer?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's like.
Just as bad. Easily.
Asinine. Anyways, now to further prove that this country isn't racist, I'm going to go ahead and teach Thomas to be less white. Okay?
Jesus.
So
that's a tall order, dude.
Helping Thomas to become more cultured, one word at a time, one phrase. One phrase at a time. Now, white ain't trendy and cool no more, Thomas.
It ain't?
It ain't. It ain't. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to speak. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to talk to Randy, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to have, I should probably have Randy call into the show. I should have probably told her. Randy, open up the Rain Man digital app and call the show when I say. Can you guys talk for a moment?
I don't know how successful this will be, because even if I say it right, I'm going to sound incredibly white doing so.
I think the goal is for me to be more white than you.
I don't know if that's the goal, Tony. I think you're going to take that a different route.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. My personal goal
is
to become more white than you by the end of the show. I think I'm already there.
You're just waiting on the pigmentation transfer surgery.
Your costumes don't count.
No. I'm just waiting for my new Hitler Youth cartoon.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Every time.
Every episode.
Yeah.
Every epised lately.
It's like he has a couple words in a hat that he pulls out, and he says, "Yeah, this will be a good one." It's just racist things.
Yep.
Randy, if you're able to call into the show, and I'm going to have Thomas talk to you about a couple things in his non-white language, and we're going to see
non-white language.
Yeah, we're going to see how it works, to see if it does something for you. Because,
if it helps me.
There's been a trend lately that I've noticed about Randy. Can you pull up the app and the number in case she doesn't know it? Can you text message it to her, Maggie, through Facebook? Oh, you can't? You're not able to?
Oh, she's live right now.
She's not able to. Someone get that number over, please.
I can't.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You know why he can't? You know why he can't? Because he doesn't have the Rain Man digital app on his phone. Yeah. Steer me away, because that's been a topic I want to get to for a long time. But anyways, there's been a recent trend pattern that I've seen Randy and you have. And and it took me a while to notice. And I think the couple shows ago when we found out those secrets, I've noticed that Randy is doing what women probably should do, the smarter thing, rather than finding the douchebag in the pile of douchebags, the hot guy with abs and a pierced penis and pierced nipples. What she does is she gets a goofy gamer who's tall and lurching.
Thanks.
So stupid.
It's a good descriptive term.
And then she realizes she has an eye for hotness. So she's like, you know what? He has the ability to be very hot. So she gets someone who's not very intimidating.
Oh,
and she turns him into the next Jason Momoa.
Ooh.
It is true. She won't let me cut my hair.
She has completely changed you since she met you in terms of your appearance.
You might be onto something.
She has gotten your dick pierced. She's gotten your nipples pierced. She sent me a message before the show asking me to fat shame you so you lose weight.
That doesn't surprise me, though. There's a whole thing going on with that.
What she's doing is she's sculpting the perfect sex machine. I think that's what she's doing. All she's doing is designing.
Don't we all want to be the perfect sex machine?
I don't have the balls to do that to Maggie. I'd be like, hey, Maggie, I need you to do this for me.
No. But shouldn't Maggie want to turn you into that as well?
I was already.
Oh, is that it?
See, the problem is I've downgraded since then. So stupid.
There's only so far it could go.
Here, your mic's on now, Maggie.
I was off?
Yeah, the whole time. Were you talking?
Apparently not.
All right, so let's get that number over to Randy. Did anybody get it yet?
I do not have it yet.
Oh my God!
I can't find it through the app.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna get the number.
I can stop being live, but people are enjoying this.
Ain't nothing but against the party.
Right.
Oh shit!
Gonna get Thomas into the mood.
Oh jeez. In the same motherfucking place at the same motherfucking time. Y'all niggas about to feel this. Break out the champagne glasses.
All right, the number is 818-394-0279. That's 818-394-0279. Randy, call the show. I'm going to have...
What was number one last time?
Let me read it.
818-394-0279. That's 818-394-0279. Randy, call the show so that Thomas can talk ghetto to you.
Yes.
I'm going to make sure we take away that whiteness. It ain't cool to be white.
It's not cool.
It ain't cool. You gotta be like me or Tony. Mexican, Filipino, or maybe even black. My nephew's black, so I'm cool.
Oh, does that count?
Yeah, oh,
now?
Absolutely.
Oh, for God's sake.
He is totally bringing that in.
Oh, I got points. I got points. Automatic cool points.
He added them together, too, for the show.
So stupid. All right, so is she going to call in?
The problem is she's in Michigan.
Oh,
she
sweet.
may not get this.
Oh, she's 2 hours ahead.
Well, then you know what? I'm going to have you talk to Maggie then, because I'm not going to, I'm going to have Maggie be your one and only you're going to speak to.
I need a...
Now, I want you to type this in, Thomas. Now, we found a website that actually tells you how to speak ghetto.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. So I want you to say, hey, honey, comma, let's go to dinner tonight and possibly have some sex afterwards. Can you write that in, please?
All right, so was it, hey, honey, let's go to dinner tonight?
Yes. Man, if you worked in a courthouse, you've been fired.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Hi,
possibly.
honey. Let's get dinner tonight. Period. And possibly have some sex later.
Oh, my gosh. This is terrifying.
Now, I would like you to read that to me in ghetto speak, please.
Oh, Jesus.
In my native language.
In your native language? Okay, let's see here. Jesus.
Let's do it.
This is terrible. Do I have to give the whole inflection and everything?
Yeah.
You got to sell it. Just like Randy,
Character.
sold you on getting a dick pierce, nipple pierce.
Oh, jeez.
And to go get your body waxed, a bikini wax. Then let's sell this.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on, let's do it.
Okay, real quick question before we start. What is a money symbol as S? How do I pronounce that?
You're so white.
Don't read into the... Don't yell into the mic, Mag.
Sorry, I forgot.
God damn it, I
Come
hate
on.
this. Yo, honey. Let's go to...
Oh, my
Let's go to dinner tonight and possibly got some sex later.
What?
I don't even know, dude.
I don't think you're...
Wait, got
the letters
some sex
read
later?
all over. GOTS, G-O-T-S-S.
You didn't sell me at all. Tony, you type
Too
it in
white
now.
for this.
Tony, can you type it in, please?
Let me go ahead.
Okay, this is the new rule in the show. When we're talking about a website or a link, just everyone open it out. This happened last week as well. Let's do it.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Andrew, so that means you as well. You have to actually participate.
I'm ready to go.
You have to actually participate for once, Andrew.
For what?
Yeah, participation.
Okay, what do you want me to type?
Type in, hi, honey, comma, let's go to dinner tonight.
I'm telling you, that's how it was written.
Yep.
Period.
I'm just saying I can't phonetically do it
You
correctly.
can sell it a little better, though.
Can I, though?
Period. Let's have some sex maybe as well. All right, now I want you to sell it. Sell it. Come on. Let's lubricate Maggie's thighs.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
I don't think that's going to sell anything to anybody.
You know, I want to say one thing. This English to ghetto, they make use of a lot of special characters for whatever reason.
Listen, no excuses and more selling.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, let's do this. Come on.
All right.
Sell me. Hold on. Let me get your music for you, Tony.
All right.
Oh, wait. Hold on. You like 2 Live Crew, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to get
Here we go.
See, I know what motivates Tony. I know what lubricates.
Amazing.
I know what lubricates his thighs. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Let it. You got to let it marinate for a second. Come on.
One stand next to Bon Jovi in that last.
You guys are all the
Hold on.
And you criticize me for not getting to the website.
Let's not be.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Hold
Let
on.
me speak on this mic.
Just don't yell. Go ahead.
Yo, honey. Let's go to some dinner tonight. Let's have some sex later tonight.
What? You sound like a gay Japanese man.
I'm trying to put inflection. I'm trying to put inflection on where it has capital letters.
The phonetics are all kinds of messed up.
All right.
Let's see you do it, Mike.
We need a doctorate in ebonics here, please.
Let's have the master
I
show the
wanna
students
hear
how
you
to do it.
babe.
You're the only one that could make her
Hold on.
thighs wet.
That's not true. Believe
He
me.
might make Andrew's thighs wet.
Here, hold on. Before we go back to me, Andrew, are you ready?
Andrew can try.
Yo, honey, let's get some dinner tonight. Possibly got some sex later.
That was actually probably the best one.
Pretty good.
It reminded me of like when I grew up in high school when you had those white guys that always tried to be black.
See,
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
No matter how hard a white guy tries, it always sounds bad.
Yo, yo, yo.
I want to hear from the master now. I really do.
Yeah.
And I want you to use the same website so that you can see what we're talking about.
I don't need a website. I don't need
That's cheating.
I don't
We
need
want you to do it as
If
the
we are
queen.
being graded off this textbook material, you got to use the same
You
goddamn
have to
shit.
read the same thing.
All right, hold on. Let me type this in. Hi, honey, comma.
You have to add the
Let's get some dinner tonight. Then maybe some sex. Hold on. Then maybe
Possibly have some
wait,
sex.
then possibly have some sex?
Yes.
Then possibly
The whitest version of
have
asking
some
for sex ever.
Possibly.
I'm like,
Possibly have some.
Yes.
all right, let me get into
Please.
character. Let me get into
All right.
character. Hold on.
All right, hold on.
Let me get in character.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm ready. Oh, gosh.
All right. Yo, yo, honey, let's get some dinner tonight. Then possibly get some sex.
That was better.
Sorry, guys. He wins.
I'm just mad that yours gave you have and I got.
I like that. Thug Yoda. Thank you.
The Rain Man Show will be right back.
I ate a bunch of cum.
Welcome back to The Rain Man Show with Michael Flores.
You know what it is.
Think for yourself and question authority.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I think after that first segment, we got to start drinking some whiskey, right, Thomas?
I think I could use it. I think it might help.
I mean, now, Maggie, very carefully,
Okay.
explain to us why we're doing whiskey today. I know you started some type of celebration.
It is a celebration.
A celebration of what?
Whiskey and buttercream.
Okay. And who
What?
came up with this?
Actually, my followers did.
Okay.
They decided that they
Are
wanted...
your followers like disciples? Are you like their Jesus?
They call me their Khaleesi, actually.
Oh, really?
They do.
That's
Did
better
you tell them that you get naked
than
and
Jesus.
walk through fire sometimes?
Well,
And
no.
sometimes I do the Dothraki on you? You guys know what the Dothraki is, right?
Well, that's-
No,
that's-
great.
It's forced sex.
Okay.
That's
I
news to
wasn't
them.
wrong.
Yeah, it's called
Jesus
calling.
Christ.
Hey, babe, want me to do the Dothraki on you today?
There's a nicer way of saying it. Good Lord.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? Punch that into the ghetto website and
Dothraki?
say, hey, babe, do you want me to do the Dothraki tonight on you? Let's see what it says. Meanwhile, go ahead, Maggie. Go ahead. Continue. Tell us about this whiskey day.
All right, so Whiskey and Buttercream Day is basically pairing your favorite dessert with a whiskey.
Okay.
And it is totally something that they came up with on their own because I have a group called the Whiskey Buttercream Crew.
Mm-hmm.
And I do these live things, these
Right.
fun things.
Let's get to the fun part. Why whiskey and buttercream?
Because it's just like wine. Like you're
Okay.
a wine person, and
I
you
am.
you like to pair it with things, correct?
Right. And I'm also Dothraki. Did she
Oh,
just
God.
spill something?
No,
Damn it,
Andrew
man.
keeps hitting the fucking table.
I didn't even touch the table.
Don't
You put this dude.
Stop fighting, you two.
Dude.
Pick up your phone.
Hey, you know
I'm
what?
not doing it this time.
You know
are
what?
Doing it. You are
Oh.
doing it.
Okay, see, even Maggie
Andrew.
has problems with Andrew, everybody.
Andrew, do it. I'm okay. Okay.
Is he seriously
Thomas.
flipping out?
Yes, he
God,
is.
he's such a child.
Mildly,
Okay.
yes.
Might have turned
Okay.
it off.
Okay. All right.
Anyways,
Thomas.
let's just get
Yes.
whiskey. Let's
Am I
start
touching
drinking.
the table?
Not at this time.
Okay. No. Have I I've
I
been sitting
haven't
like
been
this.
paying attention.
Can you tell she hangs out with me? She can't let it go.
I can't. Andrew. I literally have not moved until I tried to catch my phone and my whiskey at the same
Andrew,
time.
don't ever get in the way of her and whiskey, ever.
So I will fight you right now.
All right,
like-
let's drink. Let's drink some whiskey, please. Let's start.
I'm gonna punch him.
Let's start with let's start with Tony. Okay, what do you have on the docket for Tony to try? Tony, first off, you're not an alcoholic, right? I just want to make sure.
Not serious.
Oh,
I'm selective.
Not serious.
All right. So you can handle your liquor, right? You're not going to start shooting up the place and killing people?
Nah, like I've already done my part at the rally.
Oh, Jesus. All right, Maggie, please give him something and put some poison in it.
All right. Okay. So I have chosen a whiskey for each of you that I feel kind of represents your personality.
Or at least the way she feels about us.
Yes,
Okay.
Exactly.
So mine's laced with arsenic?
Oh.
No, you're going to be much more angry with me once you find out what I have for you.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so I am going to go pour your stuff. I want you to try it before I actually
explain what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
So, BRB, guys.
Wait, you don't actually have it ready?
It's in the other room, I believe.
It's in the other room.
Okay.
All right. Don't have table service.
We don't?
Yet? No.
Oh.
Well, you're stingy,
There's
I
no,
guess.
like unsanitary or strange fluids involved in these.
Tony,
whiskeys.
you don't get to ask questions like that on the Rain Man show.
I want it pure.
You just get to be part of the ride.
I'm looking for pure.
Oh God.
Jesus, Tony.
It took a minit. It really did. It took me a minute there.
Yeah.
He's surprisingly proud of that one.
He's always proud of his jokes. Let's go ahead. I got the music ready. I'm ready for some whiskey. Right, Thomas?
This is racist choice, Mike.
Why is that racist?
Whiskey, you think only Irish people drink?
Only Mexicans drink tequila. So, I mean, right? No? Doesn't work that way?
It kind of does.
Oh, remind me never to throw a bit onto Maggie.
Isn't this like water for Irish people anyway?
So coming up, we do have the Game of Thrones Game of Thrones contest to see just how smart Thomas really is. Because we all know Thomas is a bit of an intellectual, but is he truly smart or is he just a nerd? And he just knows Game of Thrones stuff and science fiction, literature, things like that.
Could go either way.
I feel like I'm in college. I'm drinking out of a plastic cup, I should say. All right, so Tony, you're first. Go ahead. Tell him what he's drinking, or do you want him to sip it first?
He sips it first.
Oh, sip it first, Tony.
He's a sipper.
Someone's got to narrate the way his face looks when he drinks this.
He looks okay with it. He's looking at the ceiling. He's a little confused. That got all kinds of weird.
He's about to pass out.
Now he's having like fond memories. Like, yeah, I remember that time I slapped that guy.
Oh my goodness.
And
I remember that fisting.
Oh Jesus,
Jesus. You know what? I don't even think Tony needs
he's
to
going back for. He's just drank the whole thing. He just downed it.
Downed it.
Okay, good for Tony. Let's give you a little bit of music. All right, who's next, Maggie?
No. He has a comment.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but it was a little spicy.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
All right. Okay. Are we going to go around the table and get all your experiences?
Yeah, let's
first?
go. I'll
All
be
right.
last. Go to Thomas next.
Okay, Thomas.
So do I have to sniff this or do I just drink it?
That's
do
up
white
to
people
you.
Well, somebody has to. I explained.
Okay,
Tony's.
I
I'm
thought
just
this was
curious.
like a natural right for white people.
All right, so Thomas.
It smells sweeter.
All right.
I gave him a sweet one.
Okay. And you're drinking it right now? Someone's going to have to narrate
tossed it
because
back?
I can't see him.
Yeah. No.
Staring
His
good.
face.
And the microphone, Andrew.
He's staring intently,
All right.
Pretty good,
God.
actually.
looking back at the cup. He's tossing it back.
Yeah.
He's
All right.
staring at the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Now, Thomas, are you a whiskey guy?
Not traditionally, but I do like some.
Okay.
I'm more of a rum guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. He told me that, and so I
Yeah,
chose.
he's.
with
You know
that.
why he's a rum guy, right?
He's a pirate.
He grew up with Pirates of the Caribbean. That's his
I did,
favorite
yeah.
movie. That's the
Oh
only
my
reason why.
fucking god! Are you a
See,
child?
He's what
Sometimes, yes.
Thomas is the same as me, but different. In meaning, when I first,
Same but different.
well, in terms of we're nerds, okay.
Yeah.
When I turned 21, I didn't know anything but Tangeray and screwdrivers because of rap music. So when I first turned 21 and I went to the bar,
That's what
I
you got.
ordered gin and juice, and the guy just looked at me
Like,
and
what's
squinted
wrong
at me.
with you?
What are you, a rapper? I'm like, yeah, I am. And you,
Rum and Coke.
because you're the other side of the spectrum, you grew up as a little movie nerd watching Pirates of the Caribbean. That was your era.
Absolutely.
And you probably turned 21. The first thing you did was order rum, right?
Rum and Coke.
Are you serious?
Dead fucking serious.
Okay.
That's funny.
All right.
All right. Andrew's next.
Yeah.
Andrew's first drink was semen.
Just come in my butt.
All right, this will be interesting. He is taking a sip, just a small one.
I ate a bunch of cum.
He's coughing a little bit. But he doesn't seem horrified, which is an improvement over what I expected.
All right.
If you like this one, I might have to punch you.
Why?
Just drink the rest of it.
Just drink it.
Why do you got to ruin it?
You should have just punched him. He wouldn't have known.
Exactly.
That's a punch in the face.
So we're all waiting.
Itself.
We're all waiting on hands and knees.
He's contemplating it. He doesn't hate it, I would say.
I think I might know what mine is.
Okay.
Okay, then what is it?
Not bourbon, is it?
No.
No, I don't know.
Not even close?
Yeah, no, not even close.
Really?
All right,
No.
then I do not.
Did you like it?
It was pretty good, yeah.
Okay.
It was all right.
Oh my god, I can't talk longer.
Well, okay, what was it? What kind was it?
Well, no, we got to do Mike's now.
No. Well,
Oh, you're not going to tell us what it is until afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
I need music. Here we go.
All right, Mike's about to drink it. He's staring at it forlornly. He's taking a whiff.
You got to breathe
Wafting,
in. Got to take it all in.
Take it in.
I just got drunk from the smell.
This will be my favorite.
There are no grapes in this.
I'm a lightweight. I think I'm drunk already, and all I've done was inhale.
This is the wussiest one too, babe.
Oh. And he's drinking it. He does not look happy. No, he's kind of like holding it back a bit, but he downed the rest of it like a champ.
Aww.
Not bad.
He loves me.
I'm not
That's
a
your definition of love. Will
Yeah.
he drink this?
I'm just not a whiskey guy. I'm a
hard
wine
liquor.
guy. I did like that. That was like taste a little like caramel. Was it caramel?
All right, so now
Okay.
Maggie can tell
All right,
everybody.
I will
a little
tell
bit
you.
of caramel, a little bit of butterscotch, maybe.
I will start with you. Yours was a pecan, a sweet pecan.
Oh, and what's in it? Is it just
It's basically
pecans? Like is that? No, I'm saying that's how they do it, right?
They add it to the mash. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So, but that's all. There was no. I was not right with the caramel.
No,
Okay.
Well, that's for most whiskeys. They have
Okay.
a caramel.
Because I
flavor
do
to
too.
it.
Now that you say it
It's a
has
pecan.
pecans, I do see that because
Yeah.
pecans do come pretty close to caramel
They're-
in terms
they're
of
pretty
flavor.
sweet,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't too far off.
No.
And
Actually, you actually surprised me with that one. To be
I'm
honest.
hot. My head is hot
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
It's okay.
You're,
Just breathe.
You're gonna be done.
You'll be all right.
He's already drunk, guys. All right. So you, my sir, have a Stranahan's. It's called the Diamond Peak.
Okay.
To me, it is super, super sweet. It almost has a cherry cola to it with a light vanilla.
Okay.
And then
Sounds like a white man's drink.
Yeah, it does.
that's exactly why
It's
I chose
very
it for
white.
him. It is it's out of Denver.
Okay, and that's
So-
pretty much where we're from, all white people.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So, all right, Tony,
Mm-hmm.
you have a Japanese whiskey.
Oh, Japanese.
Is this
Now, it gives me that urge to like commit seppuku and fist at the same time.
Oh God. Yourself in that situation?
I freaking adore you, Tony.
Tony's so
You
dumb.
have the Suntory Reserve.
Oh, really, Centaur? Oh, wow.
You actually have a really special one.
Thank you. I feel that's awesome. Thank you, Maggie.
No
Thank
problem. And you know what? Okay, so this is the guy, everybody, that is on my live feed that bought me the fighting cock. It's basically a gag gift for Christmas.
And she ended up loving
It
it.
is one of my most favorite whiskeys that I've ever
You.
had.
You still have that?
Yeah. Well, no, I finished the bottle.
Yeah,
But
she-
Finished the bottle.
I finished the bottle and I bought two others. But,
Yeah,
you know.
she likes Tony's fighting cock.
But no, and that's one of my most recommended
Stay in the mic.
bourbons.
Okay.
So
You-
you actually did really, really good on that one.
Thank you very much.
Was it?
All right, let's get
Andrew,
through this. Let's get through this. Andrew's next.
I
Come
want
on.
to say it's
All
Jack,
right.
but I don't think that you would
I don't own
stoop
Jack.
that low. There you go.
No, I
I'm
like
above
Jack.
that.
The wild turkey?
No,
I got
it
nothing.
is the Hudson single malt.
I don't know what that means, but it was very nice.
Is it considered a bad drink?
No, not
Okay.
to some, but is one
Get in
of
the mic, Maggie.
It
I don't know why you're. Are you like?
She's like below it.
Is she like?
I'm like so disappointed right now.
Why?
Because
tell me what is wrong with this whiskey.
Because she told me that before the show started that she was going to give you the worst whiskey she could find.
I mean, it tasted better than the bottom shelf shit that I normally drink. So,
well, that's good because it's a $60 whiskey.
Usually,
you don't like it. I'll fucking.
The reason why Andrew drinks bottom shelf because he's usually on his knees, so it's easier.
Yeah, but I preferred the $20 bottle of Fighting Cock.
All right.
There's a lot of reasons you probably prefer.
Can you say that? Can you say that again? There you go. Say it one more time.
I really, really like cock.
All right.
Record that sound by
save that for himself later.
We're gonna go back. We're gonna go to break, guys. All right. You know we need to get into this. Let's do this. Let's do the Thomas Knows Game of Thrones versus Real World Politics. Ready?
Let's do it.
Maybe we'll do this.
Waiting.
I know that you know that she knows that he knows. Hell, even the dog knows. But does Thomas know?
Yeah, that music. I'm a doer.
All right, so here we go. Now, if there's anybody out there that wants to call in, the number, I do not have it.
Hold on. The number?
Yeah,
we got it here now.
Okay, what's the number?
Okay, the number is 1-818-394-0279.
Now, if you call in, first person to call, I will answer the phone, and then you just hang on the line. And before Thomas answers any question, I will go to you first and see if you will get the answer right. Meaning, you will say, Thomas will definitely know this, or Thomas will not know this. And then if you are right, that'll be a point. And by the end of the game, we'll tally it all up. And if you have more right than wrong, you will receive a free shirt courtesy of Rain Man Digital. All right.
Read that number again?
One more time.
Request lines are open at 1-818-394-0279.
All right. So let's begin. Maybe we should wait a few minutes, but I'm very anxious. We will see. Someone's calling. Someone is calling. Let's see who it is. But it's not coming through Hangouts. It's coming through...
Fucking fails at everything.
Hold on. Here we go. I'm answering. I am answering. Hello, this is Michael Flores with Rain Man Show. How can I help you?
Hi, is this the Does Thomas Know segment?
Yeah, it is. And who's on the line right now?
Really?
Who's calling?
It's Andrew.
Is Andrew really trolling the show right now?
That was too good to pass up, I gotta say.
That was
awesome. Why is it awesome that he's fucking trolling the show?
I thought you knew.
I thought you were playing into it.
Yeah, I'm playing into someone who's derailing the show. Absolutely playing into it.
Okay. One more time.
All right, so let's do this. Here we go. No one's going to call, and that's fine because I'm turning the phone lines off because we get trolled.
You can leave it open and we can just try and
Andrew never is involved, but he finally tries to get involved and he trolls the show. Someone's calling, but I already hung up.
Oh.
All right, we don't have time to mess around. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm bringing up the questions. Guys, just quit calling. We're going to go ahead and just move on because we can't get the phone lines working. All right, so round one, does Thomas know? First question is, Thomas, is kind of a warm-up. I think this is easy. I think this is something you're going to know. You ready for this? Tell me now,
I'm ready.
Yes or no. Here we go. Music, please, maestro. Here we go. Thomas, what was the Battle of the Bastards, and who were the warring factions and their leaders? Okay. This is obviously a Game of Thrones question.
Yes, it is.
If you think this is real world, just don't listen to my show, please. Again, one more time. What was the Battle of Bastards, and who were the warring factions and their leaders? Does Thomas know this? Thomas, do you?
I do know this one.
Okay.
The Battle of the Bastards.
Who is?
Who is?
Answer it like Jeopardy.
Oh. Well, you asked a question, so I can't answer with a question. The Battle of the Bastards.
You can do whatever I say. This is my show.
Who is the Battle of the Bastards involved Ramsay Bolton, for House Bolton, which controlled the North, as well as the Umbers and the Karstarks, versus Jon Snow, leader of the Starks, the Wildlings, House Glover, House Manderley, and several others, and a war for Winterfell and the North as a whole.
Okay.
Okay.
And you would be obviously correct.
Yes.
Holy
That's
shit.
way too
Read
deep.
that somewhere.
That is
I did not. Somebody can check my laptop.
No,
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Randy would.
Yeah,
is-
everyone make sure he has nothing open where he can Google.
Yes, I'm looking.
if you want to open the
He's
phone
looking at
lines,
Facebook.
Randy, you can try and call again.
All right. No, the phone lines aren't open.
They're dead.
All right. So, real world question.
I thought I was supposed to guess.
We're going to compare and see what you know in terms of fictitious and real. Okay?
Okay.
The sister question is, what was the Battle of Gettysburg and who were the warring factions and their leaders?
The Battle of Gettysburg took place in the Civil War, the American Civil War, I believe 1864, which involved the South, led by Robert E. Lee, versus the North under General Ulysses S. Grant. It was the bloodiest battle of the Civil War and resulted in the largest amount of deaths.
Wow, Thomas.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
You got one wrong, but I'm going to give it to you. You didn't tell me the leader of the other army. You did bring up the obvious, which is General Lee,
Ulysses
Robert
S.
E. Lee,
Grant.
but you didn't know it's not him.
It's not him.
Not of Gettysburg.
Oh. All right, I got one part wrong.
But
It's
that is-
George O. Meade.
yeah,
He was the leader
Okay.
of the
super
other
impressive.
side for the Battle of Gettysburg. Well, look at you, Thomas.
2 for 2.
Look at you actually know. He's not 2 for 2. You're 1. The whole point is whether or not you don't know real world. Because I already know you're going to know the Game of Thrones stuff. That's
You're
the point.
super nerd.
Oh. So only the real world counts.
Those
Got
are the
it.
real questions.
Got it,
Those
got
are
it,
the
got it.
real questions. I'm using the Game of Thrones version
to get me
of
excited.
a real world question. So, next question. The Game of Thrones version first. How many continents makes up the world of Game of Thrones?
How many continents?
How many continents makes up the world of Game of Thrones?
There are 3 continents within the world of Game of Thrones. Westeros, Essos, and I cannot pronounce it properly, but it's like Southos or Sothos or something like that. It's a country to this, or a continent to the south that we have not seen in the show or book. There are also a number of islands amongst the southern regions, the Summer Isles.
Just continents.
3.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
You would be correct.
Yes,
All
I
right.
would.
All right.
Can I interrupt
No.
for a second?
Yes, go ahead.
I actually,
Please.
one of my followers is actually trying to call in.
Yeah, tell him not to worry about it.
All right.
You know, it's kind of like when you're really excited for something and then somebody like pisses in your Cheerios. That's what happened.
Fuck you, Andrew.
How many continents make up the Earth, Thomas? How many continents make up the very planet we live in every single day?
There are 7 continents on Earth.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You would be correct. You're not as dumb as I thought.
Thanks, Mike.
Answer
I appreciate it.
Well, Thomas, let's be honest. The reason why we started this bit because you don't know a lot, except fictitious things. You're very intelligent for things that you want to know. All right, round 3. Does Thomas know assassinations? Here we go. Game of Thrones version. The Red Wedding was a massacre during the War of the Five Kings, arranged by blank as revenge against King Robb Stark for breaking the marriage pact between House Stark and House blank. Answer, please, Thomas.
The Red Wedding was orchestrated by both the Freys, Walder Frey, and the Lannisters, in conjunction with Roose Bolton, who turned against his own bannerman, Robb Stark.
Okay.
For not marrying one of his daughters as he promised, Lord Freys.
Final answer. Are you positive?
Yes, I am positive.
You are 100% confident that that is correct.
100% confident.
You would be correct. To the word.
Goddamn.
To the word.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Real world version of assassinations.
That's almost as
On June 5th, 1968, after winning the California and South Dakota primary elections for the Democratic nomination for blank of the United States, blank was fatally shot while exiting through the hotel kitchen immediately after leaving the podium in the Ambassador Hotel and died in the Good Samaritan Hospital 26 hours later. Who was this individual?
Bobby Kennedy, and I believe he was running for state senator, but I might be wrong on that.
Are you sure that's your final answer?
It was Bobby Kennedy, yes.
The correct answer is Robert Kennedy.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, geez.
Wow, Thomas, you know a little bit more than I thought.
Yeah.
Are you cheating? Can someone make get up?
I am on live camera right now.
Andrew, get up right now. Walk over to Thomas.
No,
Please don't handicap Andrew anymore. It's time he shines. It's time to take the training wheels off for Andrew.
Oh, God.
All right.
All right. Next question for Does Thomas Know? Round 4. Does Thomas know? Game of Thrones. Blank is the capital of the Seven Kingdoms, a.k.a. Westeros. Blank is the capital of the Seven Kingdoms, a.k.a. Westeros. And the answer is Thomas.
King's Landing.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You would be correct.
Oh my fucking
Maybe
God.
these are a little too easy.
Yeah.
Does Thomas, do you know, or Tony, did you know that one?
I've heard of King's Landing, but I wasn't aware it was the capital.
Okay, so these are hard for average. Okay. Did you know, Maggie? You watch Game of Thrones every week.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right.
Do you know why it's called King's Landing?
No.
Oh my God, we're not getting into that.
All right, real world question. Blank is the current federal capital city of the United States. Blank is the current federal capital city of the United States. Thomas.
Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia.
Oh, I hate you.
Which is its own segregated land that is neither part of Virginia or Maryland, the states in which it lies.
I believe a grade schooler would have known that
Did you just finish college and you had like all these? All right, round 5. Does Thomas know? Game of Thrones. Who is Jorah Mormont? Is that how you pronounce his name,
You have
Thomas?
to spell it because there's two different ones.
It's Jeor. Really? So you know the spelling?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I do. And I can answer that one right now if you'd like.
All right.
Do it.
Who is Jorah? Is that how you say his name, though?
Jorah
Mormont.
Jorah Mormont was the captain of the Night's Watch who trained Sam and Jon, was also father to Jorah Mormont, the guy who was showing Khaleesi through the Dothraki lands way back in season 1, who fell in love with her throughout the show.
And what was his position?
He was the leader of the what's it called? The Night's Watch.
Thomas doesn't know.
Oh.
I don't know what he's
Lord Commander.
Lord Commander,
What?
thank you. The leader, though. I knew he was the leader.
Holy fuck! He just gave Thomas the answer.
Well,
He
does leader
clearly
not
was
count?
on the right track.
I think leader counts.
Dude, holy shit.
That's like leader of the country versus
Do
president.
not
I still knew.
give him the answers. You didn't know. You said Captain Commander. The answer was Lord Commander,
But I knew
Commander
who
of the
he
Night
was.
Watch. You knew who he was, but it wasn't the correct
All right,
answer.
so
It
a
wasn't
half
Tom.
point.
Andrew did not need to give you the answer. Wait. Jesus. I'm trying my hardest to not belittle Andrew this show because I don't want it to be about that, and he's doing it to himself. All right. Fuck this fucking show. And this bit. I will finish it next time when I'm in the mood because I'm just completely sour by the entire thing. Let's get into news so I can have more Andrew. Are you ready for the news, Andrew?
I ate a bunch of cum. It's common knowledge. Just come in my butt.
Oh, jeez.
And now it's time for news with Andrew.
Walmart says mischief was the cause of an eyebrow-raising store display that popped up inside one of its locations this week. On Wednesday, a photo of a sign reading, "Own the school year like a hero," perched above a glass-encased firearm display, spread like wildfire on social media. People were furious about the juxtaposition of the back-to-school signs and firearms. Walmart immediately condemned the display, issued an apology, and called it truly awful. It also said that it would investigate to locate the store in question and to find out what happened.
So it really had be awesome at school right above guns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
There's
Own
a
the
photo.
school year like a hero.
Yeah, there's a photo.
I don't think that's what they meant.
You never know.
Good Lord.
On Friday, a Walmart spokesperson, Charles Croson, confirmed to CNN Money that the company has determined that the incident was a result of mischief. He declined to elaborate, but he said the investigation was conducted by multiple employees who worked many hours to get to the bottom of the situation.
That's just dark. Like, who has the balls to do that? That just seems, even if you do think something like that's funny, because obviously I just laughed, so I'm not the greatest person in the world.
Like, okay, so have any of you ever worked retail?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that they have specific things that fit in specific signs, right?
Yeah, so that still doesn't explain why that was made like that.
So it was supposed to go into those.
The back-to-school display?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It was made to go there. Like, you can't make that shit up.
Yeah, in the photo, it's very clear that it's just too big for the glass case itself. So,
do you think you'd be popular at school if you took that to heart?
I mean,
technically you'd be popular. Everyone would know you.
You would know who the person is, but like it also depends. Like, are you in the city? Are you in the country? You know, like
is this just a normal day in rural Kentucky?
Maybe it's part of the curriculum.
Right. They used to teach shooting at schools. Like maybe
think outside the box, people.
Yeah.
But within the target.
Fuck no.
All right, what else do we have in the news?
Justin Bieber is exposed trying to pick up a gym employee through Instagram DMs. If you're a rich and famous star, you should get one thing straight. Your DMs are not going to remain private for long. The ease of screenshotting has turned every conversation into fodder for social media, so you better get used to hiding your thirst. Unless your name is Justin Bieber, I guess. The Biebs is still waltzing through DMs with no fear, and this time he found a rather obscure target to set his sights on. Jessica Gober, a 22-year-old employee at Fitness on Broughton in Savannah, Georgia, has been tasked with increasing the social media presence for her employer. That directive led to this boomerang, which Gober modeling an energy drink for the page. At the time, the gym only had 73 followers on Instagram, but somehow, some way, the page attracted a very famous follower with the post. After spotting Gober on their page, Biebs did what any fired-up young man does when his thirst trap is thrown in front of them. He fell right into it.
What else do we have in the news, Andrew?
Sure. A woman shot in a vagina after a sex game gone wrong.
Oh, my word.
Russian roulette?
Yes.
A man who caused life-changing injuries to the genital area of his female lover after a sexual fantasy went catastrophically wrong has been jailed for a decade.
Oh, don't play with a loaded firearm. It's a fucking weapon.
Use your hand.
Oh,
Your fist?
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Thank you, Maggie.
That can do just as much damage.
The hand won't shoot. Now that would be the technique of the jackhammer. The jackhammer technique of the fist.
There's more classes with Tony online.
Yeah, thank you. I'm on Pluralsight and lynda.com.
Lynda.com.
David Jeffers, age 47, fled from a Manchester hotel, leaving his partner dying on a bed after a loaded shotgun, which was inserted into her vagina, was mistakenly fired.
Oh, my word.
Loaded shotgun.
Loaded shotgun.
What the hell were you doing?
That's kinky as fuck.
Look at it this way, though. The shotgun is shaped like a dildo.
Oh, God.
No, I get it. I totally get it.
What do you and Mike do?
Just don't load it. Don't load it.
Exactly. I'm with Tony on this one. Like it's like the danger. It's
now.
No.
See, I've heard of knife play, but never gunplay.
Now,
how about we read the news article? Let's go. Let's get into it.
The 46-year-old victim, who cannot be named for legal reasons, had informed her partner of her sexual desires via text messages a few days prior to the incident, which left her with life-changing injuries due to her bladder and female reproductive organs.
How's she even alive?
I
Because stupid people don't die.
Well, look at it this way. At least it wasn't the gut, the butt end going in for
stock.
Yeah.
All right. What does the article say, Andrew?
The victim, who worked as a manager in Stockport, Greater Manchester, has arranged and paid for Jeffers to stay with her at the Britannia Hotel on the evening of January 30th, where the couple consumed drink and drugs before engaging in sexual activity.
Okay.
Sometime after, Jeffers, who lives in Hare Hills, Leeds, inserted the loaded shotgun, which he claims to have found in the toilet of Witherspoon's pub at Leeds train station, into her genital area where it is agreed his hand was on the trigger.
This is why dumb people don't breed. All right, what else do we have in the news?
Shotgun.
What else do we have in the news?
This is Nazi effing America, says a man confronted about his swastika flag.
Okay.
Fed up with the ugly racism that was on display in Charlottesville over the weekend, a North Carolina woman decided to confront a man who is flying a Nazi flag in a video that has many people calling her a hero and him declaring that this is Nazi effing America.
Mm-hmm.
Paige Broswell told the Charlotte...
The guy is guilty of being an asshole, and the woman's definitely not a hero. Go ahead.
Paige Broswell told the Charlotte
I think we need to redefine the word hero. I think people are way too loose with that word nowadays. Oh, he's a hero because he raises his kids correctly. No, you're a good parent. You're not a hero. Wear a cape and save some people. At least have a cape. Save some lives. Then maybe you can be defined as a hero. Telling a guy the obvious that you're an idiot for waving a swastika flag doesn't make you a hero. What else do we have in the news? Actually, you know what? Continue with this article. I want to get mad. This is the article that I need to fuel my anger even more.
Paige Broswell told the Charlotte Observer that she had seen a photo of the red, black, and white flag bearing a swastika in front of the home near Charlotte, and she decided to call out the person who had put it there.
Oh, wow. Someone, acting within their constitutional right is now a sin in this country.
It's about racism and white supremacy.
It's about being an asshole.
America.
Oh my God, a guy exercised his constitutional right by having a swastika flag on his lawn. Is he an asshole? Yes. Do you want to egg his house? Absolutely. Maybe even kick him. Maybe even trip him. You know those little kid trips that you do when they're walking behind him, you sideswipe their feet and they trip up? Yes.
Oh, yes.
But why is this news? In this country, have we forgotten that we are allowed the freedom of speech?
Yes. Yes, we have.
And yes, this woman can exercise that and then proceed to fight with him. But why is this news? Hey, two people, in other news, two people exercise their freedom of speech. No news here. Continue with the next topic, please.
Sure. A couple filmed aggressively dry humping on a subway after Yankees
That's what I'm going to do. As soon as this show's over, to work the poison out, get all those toxins out of my system, I'm going to dry hump. Even
oh, my word.
I don't need Maggie to dry hump. I'll dry hump this chair.
The real news is this Yankees couple.
Give me another sip of whiskey and I'll be doing it soon.
He's an angry drunk.
Oh, babe.
It'll go from dry to liquid very fast.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
The real news is this Yankees couple caught dry humping all over the city's subway system. Don't even try and count how many seconds it goes on for, because you'll get bored. Minimal kissing.
You don't get bored. It's pretty funny. I was laughing the entire time. It's like a good 5 minutes. Well, at that point, Andrew, when you have an opportunity, if it's not too much to ask, post that video in our Invasion Force page so that people can see it.
Okay.
And I want the listeners to
decide if it's too much.
Decide for yourself. Because at what point do you just pull your penis out and just actually have sex? Because that's pretty much what they're doing. Just do it.
Fuck it.
Just do it.
People have seen weirder things on the New York subway, right?
Yeah. What else does it say, Andrew?
It was filmed by someone sitting alarmingly close to the couple and posted on Subway Creatures' Instagram account with the caption, "Making up for a huge Yankee loss."
There's a Subway Creatures Instagram.
Oh, that is funny. I need to follow them ASAP. If there's stuff like this, I'm following them right now.
If you've never heard of the account, then my God, are you in for a treat.
Okay.
It holds everything magical about New York City and the people who dwell within, like a guy in his pooch with sunglasses and a red and white striped shirt.
Is there any Nazis on that Instagram account? Because that's all the craze. I'm told. They're making a comeback.
Not that I can see. No. A lot of old people with old men with their shirts open.
White men.
Yeah. Some crazy and wacky hairdos.
All right. What else do we have in the news?
A hotel puts up a sign telling Jewish guests to shower before they swim.
Oh my God.
Now that's racist.
I think that counts as racist. Yeah.
A hotel in Switzerland has been accused of being anti-Semitic after signs telling Jewish guests to shower before entering.
Hold on. Is there any science? Is there any science that backs up the fact that maybe they have?
I don't think Dr. Mengele's work was submitted for peer review.
Okay, because we all know Andrew has a slight body odor. He didn't conveniently for our bit we did, but he normally does. So some people and some cultures, because of what they eat, may have some lingering odors.
Well,
do we know if the Jewish individuals have that? Maybe too many matzo balls?
I'm not familiar.
I'm not really sure, but I believe back in World War II, showering was, if you're a Jew, showering was a bad sign,
subject.
that it was like a sign of bad things to come.
Oh,
Jesus.
All right, what else does it say?
The Paradise Rosa Hotel in eastern Switzerland sparked outrage after a picture of the sign.
Aren't they neutral?
Not to Jews, apparently.
Weren't they neutral the entire war?
They were.
Hey, listen, we're not going to get involved in this war, but hey, you guys, before you get in the pools, though, take a shower.
Here's the idea, guys.
Please.
We'll wait 100 years, then we'll let our real feelings be known.
That's exactly what they did. They waited 100 years.
Until the Nazis showed up again.
Talk about a slow burn temper. You know what? Hitler's right. I hate these Jews, but we're going to wait. Go ahead. What else?
The sign read, "To our Jewish guests, women, men, and children, please take a shower before you go swimming."
I mean, is this any worse than the man tax from last week? I mean, to be honest.
Well, both are bad, but this has got even more historical significance to it.
I think the historical significance
and the
is
fact that it says showers.
Yep.
Not like please bathe before. That's still rude, but
it's definitely rude. All right, what else does it say?
Spokesman for the Swiss tourism, Marcus Berger, called the sign unacceptable and said it had since been removed, and the hotel has apologized.
Apologize.
Mr. Berger added that there was.
Why would they even apologize at that point? You did it. Yeah. Guess what? You feel that way. No apology is going to fix the...
You're done, dude.
Yeah, no apology is going to fix the perception.
That Yelp review is not going to go up beyond 1 star.
Do you have to be in the area to do a Yelp review?
I don't know.
Because I want to go online right now and review them.
No.
But I want to give them 5 stars for having balls. Like, this hotel, they have some balls. I'm going to give them 5 stars.
Ruth Toman, the manager of the hotel, reportedly said...
Wait, what's her name?
Ruth Toman.
It's a woman.
Or a man.
Ruth isn't a man's name, is it?
No, it's not in this context, no.
Oh, okay.
I was like, maybe in Switzerland, but...
All right, what else does it say then?
The sign, he reportedly said, I wrote something naive on that poster. It is, in fact, a woman, yeah. She also
not
admitted...
naive.
Like, that's just racist. There's a line between naive and racist.
Yeah. That's like my ex-wife who years ago when she was a child thought black people had tails.
Oh my God.
Because her family was extremely racist. They were from the Mexican culture, and people may not know this. There's a lot of Mexicans out there that hate black folk. They taught their kids that black people had tails. She was like 7, 8 years old thinking black people had tails. And guess what? That would be naive. If she asked her 7th grade friend to see her tail, that would be naive.
If you're in 7th grade, that's
if your name is Ruth and you live in Switzerland and you're in your 40s and you run a hotel, that's not being naive. That's being a racist motherfucker. What else does it say? I'm very curious about this lady.
She also admitted that her choice of words was a mistake.
Choice of words. What would be... Let's rewrite this sign for her. Tony, would you rewrite the sign for her? Like, how would you phrase that sign to make sure Jewish people...
You want me to rephrase this?
Well, hold on. We want to make sure Jewish people bathe before entering the pool. Only Jewish people. So how could you possibly reword that so that it doesn't sound offensive? Go, Tony.
To our Jewish friends and our customers, we've noticed that more often when you have bathed and used our pools, we really do appreciate it. We love your company, but we have noticed a much more stronger smell.
This is a really long poster.
You know, like
this isn't a memo. This is like a chapter.
I know.
Yes, I'm trying to be very, very kind. We know that you've been through a lot.
In fact, we were neutral the entire war and didn't help anybody.
As a matter of fact, we were neutral. We definitely would have let you people in.
So long as you showered.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with proper hygiene. As a matter of fact, proper hygiene could actually win you more friends.
Oh, God.
Especially, like it might actually change the mind of some of those smellier Arabs.
Oh,
that visit us.
All right, now you've just been sued, and people are accusing you of being offensive again because now you insulted the Arab population. So now you have to rewrite that letter. So now rewrite that letter and tell us how.
I will have to disagree with you, Mike, because I have actually won over the Jewish minds and hearts.
Did you? You think so? With that awesome writing?
I really don't think you did.
All right. Pointing out that the smell actually comes from the Arabs.
Oh, God.
Holy shit. All right. Andrew, what else do we have in the news, please?
A warrant issued for a man in fence sex case. A Texas judge orders an arrest of a man charged with indecent exposure.
The fence?
A warrant has been issued for a Texas resident who stands accused of having sex with a chain link fence, according to court records.
Please tell me not the way that I'm imagining it right now.
I mean,
can you really even have sex with a fence?
If you're girthy enough, right? Yeah.
How did he climb the fence?
Wait, what?
Wait, the guy had sex with a fence, right?
Oh, wait, Tony's thinking very caveman-like. You got to get on top of it. You got to get on top of that
you're
fence.
imagining fucking this
Yeah,
fence.
you got to get on top of that fence.
Wait. He was the receiver, wasn't he?
Oh.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
Oh,
Andrew,
my word.
repeat again.
All right, how did he do this? See, that's the hard-hitting question.
Yes,
Tony knows. That is the hard-hitting question.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
A judge last week ordered the arrest of Elidoro Estala.
Oh, so guilty.
Yeah.
What is it with Mexicans?
Age 32.
Right, though? Like, I'm Mexican. I'm going to say it. Mexicans in the news always do some of the craziest shit. I mean, a couple years ago, we read an article about some Mexican dude having sex with the tailpipe of a car. With the exhaust pipe. I'm like, how is that even fun?
And depending on his physical status, I mean, climbing the fence just to get to the top of that pole, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, they're used to climbing fences, so maybe they thought they would kill two birds with one stone. I'll come while I'm trying to get into the United States. What else do we have in the news? Actually, you know what? I want to continue with this one.
After the gentleman failed to appear in a court hearing in his indecent exposure case, a bond posted earlier this year by Estala, a Mexican national, was ordered forfeited by a Travis County jurist. Estala, pictured at right, was arrested in March on a misdemeanor count after an Austin neighbor told cops that she saw him having sex with the fence that separates their residence. Estala disrobed when he realized that Diana Vasquez was recording him with her cell phone as he urinated on that fence.
So he also urinated as well.
It was a golden shower?
Well, sometimes when you're done having sex, you need to use the bathroom.
Fence?
How high was the fence?
It's not about the height, goddammit.
No, I mean, I want to know exactly how he was able to climb up and sit on the pole.
Sit on the pole?
Isn't that what we're talking about by sex? He had sex to the fence.
It goes in a little bit here. So in a detailed arrest affidavit.
I like Tony's version of how sex happens.
Yeah.
You sit on something.
Every time you sit on it.
All right. What else is to say?
In a detailed arrest affidavit, Estala initially put his mouth inside the chain link fence and stuck his tongue out, moving it up and down.
Wait, he was making out with it too?
No.
He was. Vasquez told police that it seemed like Estala was demonstrating the
This
sexual
guy's a
act
Latin
of
lover,
using
right, Maggie?
Oh, yeah.
He was eating out the fence, is what she says.
It's going down. Do you
Pretty
think
much.
it gave him yeast infection?
I hope not.
Investigators allege that Estala, who appeared intoxicated, then proceeded to stick his erect penis into the chain link fence.
Oh,
and have
okay.
sex
So the
with
fence was the
fence.
receiver. Okay. Okay.
He was really, really questioning this. All right. What else do we have in the news, Andrew? What else do we have in the news?
Tony's just like, my diagrams don't make sense.
That throws out my theory.
This changes everything.
Yes, exactly. My God, I didn't realize there was another way.
All right, Andrew, please continue.
Guam radio stations sparked terror by accidentally broadcasting a nuclear missile warning just days after North
How do
Korea
you
threatened to
accidentally
attack the
do
island.
that?
Isn't this exactly what we just said a couple weeks ago would happen? Because somebody was posted an earthquake warning from like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And now someone actually thought there was a nuclear attack. Wow, people are stupid. Go ahead. What does it say?
2 radio stations on the Pacific island of Guam are in hot water after accidentally broadcasting a missile warning klaxon, sparking fears of a North Korean nuke attack.
A bunch of people just start having sex, whipping it out.
Yeah, there's nowhere else to run. It's an island.
Oh my god!
Wait, what?
Oh my god, guys! Guam is an island. I mean, come on. I mean, if there's a nuclear bomb headed to you, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Everywhere you're going to go. It's just the ocean.
The civil.
God, I mean, seriously, people. I mean, a nuclear bomb is coming to me. I'm on Guam. I'm like going, oh shit! I better know how to swim.
The civil danger warning message was mistakenly broadcast because of human error just after midnight on both the KTWG and KSTO radio stations.
Someone should have gotten fired. I pray someone got fired. Can you imagine if that happened here in the United States?
Oh my god!
We announced
there would be looting, death, and rough sex in the streets.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You wouldn't try to swim?
I would initiate the purge
in Arizona.
I would initiate the purge and go kill people I hate.
The purge.
Andrew's on top of my list. If we had a purge in this country, like the movie, it would be Andrew number 1, Ed Vanderlee number 2.
How do you mouth that name?
Andrew would be number 3. Go ahead.
I offer my services to start the purge for you, sir.
Sweet.
Oh,
all right. What else does it say?
The alarm read.
Please tell me how much Guam fucked up.
The alarm read, a broadcast station or cable system has issued a civil danger warning for the following countries and areas.
Okay, how do you accidentally do that? You imagine, Thomas, you're sitting at home, you're watching Game of Thrones, you're writing down all of the information you get so you have that knowledge and that you remember it.
Right.
If it's in Guam, someone hit the coconut wrong.
And suddenly you hear that there's a nuclear strike. What do?
Masturbate. Say fuck it.
I mean, can
Quite
you
literally.
imagine if we heard
No,
that? And
realistically,
then,
dude,
then
I
it
don't
was
even know what I
false.
would do.
And then it was false. Like 5 minutes later, you find out it's false. Oh, well, I quit my job and told people to fuck off.
There had to be people who lost their jobs, who went to prison because of something they did.
No, they weren't.
Oh, man. All right, we got to wrap the show. I want to thank everybody for listening.
I want to tell you about Dead City Radio, man. And the count of Supertown. Yeah!
Thank you for listening to The Rain Man Show with your host, Michael Flores, with hosts Tony Sabal and Thomas Cowley, Andrew Spindler with the news, audio guru Dustin Lucas, produced by Michael Flores and Dustin Lucas. The Rain Man Show is a Cazador Productions and Rain Man Digital broadcast production. For all things Rain Man, go to rainmanshow.com.